So with that, I'll just go straight into it until we see Rick, who I hope we see Rick. Oh, okay, great. Wonderful. So we're gonna get Linda out of the way. Oh, there you go. You're walking around again.
Yeah, I gotta step out of the public view when I do this.
So yeah, I SCOTUS man, trans military ban. I don't. How the fuck? Um, it is. It is engrossingly upsetting to me that they would take that side, and I don't know how to. I don't even know how the fuck to process it.
In some ways, it doesn't surprise me.
Um, I the, my issue is that the GOP and the Republican establishment are making such a concerted stand against such a tiny amount of the population, and I don't get why.
It's to have a scapegoat.
Yeah, I mean, they had gay marriage, and then gay marriage went all the way through SCOTUS and got turned over, so they needed a new whipping.
A lot of the tropes are the same ones from 20, 30, 40 years ago, just recycled for trans.
Yeah, yeah, I don't I I can't tell you the number of times I've been accused of being a person who commits, I'm not gonna say it, but egregious crimes of a sexual nature. Um, and I'm a mother, and they accuse me of that, which is even more disturbing to me personally because I just don't get it. Um, so, well, let's just go right into it then. Geez. Um, today's voices of a diverse America. I quoted Donald Trump a whole bunch. Only be aware that I quoted Donald Trump by paraphrasing the shit that he was saying. So, quote number one: the economy is fucked. Buy less shit. So Donald Trump is pulling a 180 on his economic promises. He's come out and said the economy's going to suffer, and you get $2 instead of 30. Hi, Rouser. Yeah. Um, and this is the guy that has gold-plated toilets um in his you know bathrooms or whatever. So I don't fucking get it. But the economic aftershocks are brutal. The stock market is not performing well. Recession warnings are all over the place. And 89% of Americans know that the tariffs jack up prices. And even Republican allies are squirming as Trump casually shrugs about a recession and says, yeah, everything's okay. It might happen. Um, oh, hi, Jan. Hi, welcome. I'm sorry I'm ranting about Orange shits his pants. Um, but that tone deaf bullshit of elitism that he hammers working Americans who can't afford his buy less philosophy bullshit. So his messaging stinks worse than a summer dumpster. I was particularly proud of that quip when I thought about that. Promising wealth while delivering economic diarrhea. I felt really good about. I felt really good about that one. You gotta love my Oscar Wilde like wordplay. um, and to the point that you and I were chatting about before we did the live. Yeah, I don't know. I published a queer history article, and I literally lost 8 free subscribers and 2 paid subscribers.
And I still can't see what was controversial about that. It was just a history lesson.
Well, yeah, about a non-binary preacher who's most people, uh, uh, most people uh, are consciously aware that the universal, the universal friend is a thing. Yeah, Jan. We had a subscriber evacuation after I published yesterday's article about um, the um, the universal friend. Um, and the reason people left, the public universal friend, who by the way was a non-binary preacher from the late 1700s. So um, they were around when George Washington was still alive, and they were non-binary identifying, and they um, and so yeah, I had a subscriber evacuation for publishing that article, which I didn't fucking get. I mean, I totally didn't get it. Um, it was like, okay, uh, I wasn't aware this was gonna piss you off if I did this. Uh, I'm gonna say you're really gonna hate it when I publish I did the queer history for the Nazi pink triangle.
Yep.
People are gonna be completely disgusted over that. Um, versus I've done an article about Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, um, both trans women that can't decide who threw the first Molotov cocktail at Stonewall or not. I'd love to be able to have that argument. Uh, I felt like I threw the first brick, but maybe Marsha did. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't fucking get it. So yeah, I really appreciated you rereading that article, Linda, about the universal public friend, and again siding with me over. I don't understand why this would have upset people. It was just,
Yeah, because I
uh,
thought maybe I missed something. I went back and kind of read it with a fine tooth comb the second time, and that's like, nothing offensive here. It's just straight facts.
uh, yeah, I don't know. I love to educate people about queer history. There's a bunch of queer history that people don't know that I think is pertinent for people to know. And I mean, yeah, right, Jan, do people give a shit about history? I think that they should, but, it's just history.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. I had 8 people, 9 people,
I,
10 people yesterday bitch about my content. So here's what I'm telling you. If you don't like my content, tell me you don't like it before you leave the publication. Please. Please.
well, I'll say this because of your content, it's why I stay and why I subscribed and why I went to be a paid member.
Well, I mean, look, I mean, I'm viscerally, I hate to say this, I'm going to quote Mark Ruffalo when I say this. That's my secret cap. I'm always angry because I literally stay in a perpetual angry state over the way things are going. And when I get angry, I fucking write. And I write a shit ton. I mean, there are Substackers who have said, Wendy, you are a very prolific writer. You do a lot of content, and I appreciate that. But holy fucking shit, you must be pissed off all the time the way you write. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie about that. You're probably right. That's probably true. I'm a pissed off 53-year-old trans woman. So yeah, I don't know. Here we go. So yeah, Trump turned around on the economy, and he thinks now that we're going to go into a recession, but we need to deal with it because he's trying to make America great again. Um, and so that's what we're gonna deal with. On top of that, Donald Trump said, "Hey, if you self-deport now, I will pay you money," because he doesn't have enough ICE people to get all of the illegal immigrants that are in the country and deport them. So now he's offering money for people that self deport back to wherever they came from.
Well, and
Um,
a lot of the ICE people are private contractors. They're not even
yeah,
professionals.
yeah, like they've contracted and deputized, bounty hunters and private security and Heather, yes, I am a technologist. I'm an info security engineer. I literally sit at a computer all day, every day, even though I'm currently unemployed, trying to find a job. I literally sit at a computer all day, every day, and constantly write shit. I've been writing shit. Oh, is it time?
I'm gonna have to run back inside, Wendy, so I'm gonna have to go to listen mode.
Nope, nope, you're good, Linda. Love you as
Okay.
always. Oh, Linda, how we really, really like it when you come to visit. For those that don't know, Linda is a trans person who is a retired police officer and is now a private security person. And so, whenever I want, or whenever I would like for um, there to be a police officer's opinion about things, I bring Linda into the lives because she has an inherently large amount of knowledge in that capacity. And she is also, too, the most trans supporting, because she's a trans person, um, police officer I've ever known. And I've known a few people. With that, so yeah, Trump said, If you self deport now, I'll pay you a bunch of money." And the reason for this is, yes, the Department of Justice and INS and ICE are having to deputize non federal employees to try to keep up with Trump's. You have to deport all these fucking people. Um, do it faster, do it faster, do it faster. um, Kira and I were talking today. Apparently in DC, there were ICE agents that were storming restaurants and other establishments, looking for illegals to deport them. So it's getting wildly out of hand and wildly crazy, and I think we're about to see a bunch of ramp up that we did not see before, um, in regards to the whole deportation effort. Um, I want to believe that that's not the case, but um, I have not read that yet, and I will have to confirm it. Oh, hey, Kira. Yes. Food's here. Okay. My dinner is here, and my dinner tonight is a tropical smoothie from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Don't judge me, please. Um, so so Donald is bribing migrants with taxpayer money now. I want to be clear. Trump is bribing migrants with your money to ask them to take your money and leave. The economic nightmare continues as Republicans piss themselves over the concept that Trump's recession dreams are actually going to come true. Um, and the thousands and thousands of dollars that of taxpayer money that, yeah, I'm not eating panda tonight. Um, Thousands and thousands of taxpayer dollars that Trump is offering in a half-assed app after terrorizing migrants in the U.S. He's going to pay them a bunch of money if they leave of their own accord, because nothing says American values like shipping humans to foreign prisons like they're fucking cargo, or Alcatraz, which he wants to reopen. But we've already talked about why that's a really stupid fucking idea. And I'm so done with this bullshit about that's what needs to happen or whatever. So, on top of all of that, the education fuckery is going on with the Department of Justice and the Department of Education uh, waging a visceral war over. Oh, hey. Oh, it's all green and nasty, by the way. So that means it's healthy. It's green and really gross, disgusting looking. It's healthy for you, right? Um, don't laugh at me. Anyway, um, so and then on top of it, Trump is continuing to cover up for all of the really stupid shit that Pete Hegseth is doing. Um, but here was my favorite thing. So the GOP is in a real bind because all of the election signaling that is going on is suggesting that the House and the Senate are going to take a dramatic turn to the left, my left, your right. Um, and so, to combat this, for instance, the GOP, being well aware of the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene has offered to run against John Ossoff. And then the polling numbers came out after she announced that she was going to run against John Ossoff for his seat. And the polling came out and had him winning against her right now by a staggering 28 to 32 points, which, holy fuck, that means she shouldn't run, right? So, what did the GOP do? They tried to encourage Brian Kemp, my state's governor, to run against John Ossoff. As it turns out, um, uh, Kemp has come out and said, no, that's not going to happen. It's not the right time for me to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do it. So Trump has basically come out and said, again, paraphrasing Donald Trump's terms, with Brian Kemp is a pussy anyway, fuck him. So without Kemp's golden boy appeal, um, the GOP is now staring at the horrifying prospect of Taylor Greene's batshit candidacy against John Ossoff, which means if she loses that race, she will lose her House seat. And if that happens, that's a vote in the House they can't afford to lose. So it's really not a good idea for Marjorie to run against Ossoff, but she's insistent. Um, so Republicans just are continuing to cling to power because they own J.D. Vance, which is the tiebreaker in the Senate. And they're watching their chances circle the drain in Texas, where Ken Paxton, who is a MAGA fuckhead, corrupt ass individual, who, however, in whatever possible capacity, survived impeachment, is gaining on John Carlin. And Susan Collins and Tom Tillis face brutal challenges in Maine and North Carolina that they may actually lose. Um, I think the polling for Susan Collins in Maine is marginally against her. And then the same for Tom Tillis in North Carolina. Um, the current polling is not in his favor. Um, and then, of course, let's not even talk about Bill Cassidy's primary bloodbath in Louisiana, which he's not going to survive. Which means the midterm curse is coming, and the GOP knows it, and so they are trying to do whatever they can do to stop that from happening. The problem is everything that they're trying to do isn't working, or the people don't want to participate. So, um, while all that is happening, the Republican Senate is shitting bricks while Donald shits his pants, casually mentions permanent tariffs, and shrugs off the whole reception idea, the recession idea, like it's a hangnail. Um, I look, these GOP spineless, weak ass, cowardly politicians are watching the economic credibility circle drain as Wall Street is convulsing over all of the shit that's happening. Senator Capito came out and said there's a lot of uneasiness in the party, um, and stating that Americans don't have a lot of tolerance for the pain that is coming. Well, no fucking shit. Especially when that pain is inflicted by a narcissistic economic wrecking ball who slapped 100% tariffs on China and threatened everyone else in whatever fucked up way he could possibly do. Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Bissett is desperately trying to convince the wealthy elite that this isn't a complete clusterfuck by promising more jobs, more homes, more growth. But there's no growth and there's no jobs. The jobs report is coming out in, I think, a few days, and it's not going to look great uh, because of all of the layoffs at the federal level, plus with all the tariffs. There are large swaths of manufacturing companies that are laying people off constantly. Um, so I Senate Republicans are begging for any good news to quell the consumer panic, and all Donald shits his pants can say is it's a transition period. Transition to what? Economic Armageddon? Do we have a giant meteor that's hurtling towards the Earth? Do we need to put a bunch of space guys into a rocket to blow the fucker? The fucking. I'm sorry, that's an Armageddon reference. Um, there's probably people in here that has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, so um, on top of that, but wait, there's more. Um, another Republican election challenge just got ass smacked down by the pathetic power grab that it is. Federal Judge Myers told the North Carolina Board of Elections to certify their Supreme Court race. This was one of those Supreme Court races where Musk would have wanted it to go the way that it didn't go, which was electing the Republican appeals judge. As it turns out, um, that's not what happened. um, Effectively telling Republican Judge Jefferson Griffin to sit the fuck down and accept the fact that Allison Riggs won the election. In a blistering 68-page fuck off, Myers called Griffin's challenge an attempt to change the rules of the game after it's already been fucking played and you just need to get the fuck over it. The judge wasn't having any of the anti-democratic bullshit, especially when it targeted overseas military ballots um, that Griffin desperately tried to invalidate in his sad attempt to steal that election. It didn't work. The state Supreme Court has already ruled 4-2 that the ballots with missing information were still valid, but Griffin kept fighting like a toddler who dropped his ice cream cone. Riggs celebrated her victory with a simple, "Today, we won," um, tweet, while Griffin's 7-day appeal window ticks away like a time bomb, which will evaporate whatever little political power he has. Um, so let's talk about the meeting between Carney and fucking Donald shitfucker. The Don of the Dong met the new Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's day after threatening him, by the way, before the meeting on True Social that Canada was going to become the 51st state. I want everybody to know I took one for the fucking team and I sat down and I watched the entirety of the interview, and it was not a pleasant experience, not by a long shot. So, uh, to get everybody through this, here's what happened. Here's what happened. If you didn't watch it, here's what I got out of it. So, Trump arrogantly persisted that the 51st state fantasy of Canada, uh, Carney firmly stated to Trump that Canada is not for sale and it won't ever be for sale, emphasizing partnership over absorption. To which Donald Trump then blatantly replied to him saying, "Never say never, Mark," displaying his characteristic delusional, everything has a price and you're going to fucking pay me because I'm going to ass slap you and you're going to be my fucking state bitch. Um, when asked if there was any possibility of lifting the tariffs on Canadian goods, Donald did what Donald does and fucking looked at everybody and said, "Nope, that's the way it is. It's permanent." effectively spitting in the face of democracy, which is something he does notoriously well. Uh, then here's where we take a really weird turn. Um, Donald McDungface made a bizarre, unrelated claim about the Houthi rebels not wanting to fight anymore and that we're not bombing them anymore. And that was important during his meeting with Carney. Why? I don't understand. But that's what happened. And then he went off script again and casually dismissed the USMCA trade agreement that he'd previously championed, uh, calling it transitional and then questioning whether he should have done it fucking at all anyway. However, I found this interesting. One, Carney's face during the entire during the entire proceeding was he was making faces and he was not happy. It was very clear that he, one, didn't want to be there, and two, does not want to try to negotiate with Donald Trump because it won't work. But in a rare moment of restraint, Trump appeared less antagonistic towards Carney, in that he did not call Carney Governor Carney, governor of the state of Canada. Um, but I mean, there's still the stench of economic intimidation. Uh, he described America as a super big luxury store where everybody wants to shop, with goods that other nations must pay premium prices for to access. Um, that extortion lingered in the air while Canadian officials listened to Trump's dismissal for traditional trade agreements in favor of a haphazard tariff system, which is where the fuck we are now. Howard Lutnick and Marco Rubio were in the room, and Trump, in his weird like fashion, constantly had to cede to Mark. Does this sound like what we're doing? Mark, are we doing the right thing? Um, no, and I agree with you, Rouser. Mark Carney should never have met with him today. It was a bullshit meeting. It was a bunch of bluster to give Trump the opportunity to basically blow smoke up everyone's ass and, it not work out the way that it was supposed to work out. Um, but the meeting's tense undercut was palpable. Um, Rigid postures, forced smiles, and careful word choices betraying the gravity of the situation for millions of Canadians whose livelihoods hang in the balance of how this is going to all work out. Carney retained his composure despite making, again, some facial expressions that were very clearly, why the fuck am I here? Um, Emphasizing partnership over subjugation. His measured rejection of Trump's territorial fantasies showcased the stark contrast between diplomatic, um, uh, 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 you know, uh, um, uh, diplomatic dignity versus Trumpington bully tactics, which we all know Donald Trump is a really good bully because that's all he does is bully people like a fucking dickhead. The White House meeting, I walked away from the White House meeting and the bitter aftertaste of watching Trump try to flex his imperial muscles, which were not that terribly big to begin with. Um, you know, while he's at the same time trying to economically choke Canada out entirely, his entire pay more or become us approach reveals how hollow of a core the Trump administration is over this whole situation, which is bullshit. Um, the most disturbing was Trump's cavalier approach to international agreements. His suggestion that the USMCA, um, which he hailed as his crowning achievement from his first fucking term, might be unnecessary now, exposes a shallow transactional nature of his worldview, which is fucked up, basically. As Carney departed the White House, the lingering question that we're all asking is how much damage can Trump inflict on the Canadian American relationship before it becomes irreparable? And I don't know. You guys tell me. I mean, based on what's happening, do you think we can ever fix the relationship with Canada, or is the relationship with Canada just fucked and we're up shit creek without a paddle? Because I watched that meeting and I didn't feel like there was any fucking recourse. I mean, it didn't give me any reassurance that the economic future for Canada is ever going to work out the way that it's supposed to. Yeah, Rouser, I pretty much agree with you. If Trump can be gotten out of office quick enough, maybe we can fix the situation. But I don't think 4 years from now, if he even makes it 4 years into his term, that we can fix that situation. The raw reality is that Trump's America First policy is really just Trump first. Um, and with allies like Canada expecting to pay the price through economic submission or territorial surrender is bullshit. That's not diplomacy. That's fucking hostage taking, which is bullshit. And hi, Lynn Mad. Thank you for coming in um, when you did. So Trump doesn't think that he needs to defend the U.S. Constitution. When in an interview, and we've all seen it by now, Donald Schittsberger said, I don't know, when asked if he needs to uphold the U.S. Constitution. The same sacred document, by the way, that he swore to preserve, protect, and defend in his oath of office, which comes down to our question. If Donald Trump violates his oath of office, is that going to trigger the 25th Amendment? The short answer to that is yes. It's just a matter of who's willing to stand up and do it. Um, it just newsflash: the presidential oath is constitutionally required in Article 2, Section 1, making upholding the Constitution his primary fucking job. Um, it's not an optional activity. It's not I don't know if I have to do that or not. Yet the constitutionally illiterate dumbass dickhead who is known as Donald Trump himself with I have brilliant lawyers that work for me and then bizarrely suggested there's a different interpretation of the presidential oath. Um, this is the same constitutional genius who entertained using military force on Greenland because we need Greenland very badly. Greenland, we need it very badly. Talked about annexing Canada and still talks about it, and claimed that his critics will be very happy when dismissing concerns about authoritarianism, all while the economy has contracted 0.3% last quarter as his tariff shit show tanks markets worldwide. But hey, I'm just saying, everything's okay, and this is a transition period. What the fuck are we transitioning to? A non constitutional America? I don't fucking know. By the way, in today's Voices of America post, I linked the U.S. Constitution because if none of you have read the Constitution before, I highly recommend you read it. It really does actually provide a concept of sanity and blessing that doesn't stress you out when you realize just how often Donald Trump is violating the Constitution and the deck is stacking higher and higher against him. So, do we want to talk about the girl in Minnesota? I really don't want to talk about the girl in Minnesota, but I'm going to do it anyway. Um, Peak MAGA absurdity. A white woman in Minnesota who was caught on tape admitting she called a 5-year-old black autistic child the N word has been rewarded with over uh, and let me confirm this because I have the link to her Give Send Go. She is currently up to $721,000. And the reason that she called the black child the N word was because the black child took her son's stuff, which apparently to the MAGA world is completely okay because they've literally almost given this woman $1 million. Um, the disgusting cash grab follows the same playbook that turned insurrection lawyer John Eastman, immigrant killing Arizona rancher George Allen Kelly, and subway killer Daniel Penny into right wing martyrs with overflowing bank accounts because fucking MAGA sticks up for MAGA in a way that, you know, nobody fucking gets. Uh, Meanwhile, Rochester police have forwarded their investigation to city attorneys for possible charges. Not that it matters with her newfound racist retirement fund that she's never going to run out of because MAGAs are going to keep fucking donating to it. But conservative victimhood and the industrial complex is working overtime, transforming admitted bigots into celebrated heroes rather faster than you can say economic anxiety. Hey, Muddy, how's it going? The pathetic display reveals the moral bankruptcy of the MAGA movement that rewards the worst behavior imaginable with life changing cash while an autistic child and his Somali family face the trauma of public racist abuse. In Minnesota, of all states, the bluest fucking state there is. Holy shit. I don't fucking get it. How does this shit happen? Um, Please, somebody tell me how this shit happens because um, right, Muddy Bog, darn tooting. Um, Good golly, wow. Um, Out of that, those were the things that I reported in the news today. There were a handful of other things that came out. Apparently, Ed Martin, who is Donald Trump's pick to be U.S. Attorney in D.C., is probably dead in the water. Tom Tillis and numerous other GOP senators have said that if Trump puts Ed Martin up for U.S. attorney in D.C., they will say no, and he won't get approved. Um, the other thing that came out um, um, is that Pam Bondi has announced the largest fentanyl bust in our nation's history has happened finally. How much fentanyl is required for that to be a bust? Um, well, here's what they found. It was a fentanyl haul where they recovered 35 kilos of methamphetamine, 7.5 kilos of cocaine, 4.5 kilos of heroin, um, in addition to all of the fucking fentanyl they found, and 49 rifles and pistols. I don't know, like 35 kilos of methamphetamine, how big is that? I don't have an understanding for how large that is. Um, it was an incredible operation, according to Bondi. It took months and months of work. How could it have taken months and months of work when she's only been in the job for 2 months? But anyway, I don't know. Math, because they don't know how to fucking math, right? Um, the alleged leader of the drug ring, um, Heriberto Salazar Amaya, was arrested in Oregon. At least 6 people were arrested in conjunction with the drug bust. Um, and Bondi noted, but uh, that they were all here illegally. Um, but she isn't calling them for them to be deported. I have no idea why. Um, Said they need to serve their time in an American prison to keep them off of the streets. So they're not going to deport them to an El Salvador prison where they could get out, but instead they're illegals who are involved in the largest fentanyl drug ring bust in the U.S. and Pam Bondi wants them to go to a U.S. prison. I'm not Maybe I'm not clear on this, but the messaging is a little off to me, and I don't get why. Um, she then added, sending them back to Mexico to continue on with their drug business isn't going to happen under this administration. Oh, really? I mean, okay. I don't I don't fucking know. I mean, I really don't. Pam Bondi really, just like KKK Carolyn Levitt, sort of confuses me. I don't get what the fuck is going on with that bitch. Um, and then Green. Green came out today in an attempt to repair uh, her relationship with Donald Trump, where she told Trump like 2 days ago that the base is unhappy with him, and that she represents the base. Turns out she came out late Monday and said the base is actually furious with Congress and not the president himself. Um, she came out like I said 2, 3, 4 days ago um, on X Twitter, um, saying that the base is not happy, noting the Ukraine minerals deal and the talks with Iran are all bullshit and Trump needs to not do these things. And then she said, I represent the base, and when I'm frustrated and upset over the direction of things, you better be clear the base itself is not happy and you need to fix it. When you're losing MTG, you're losing the base, and Trump isn't on the ballot in the future. So do the math on that, which basically means she's denying that Trump will even have the ability to have a third term, which he says he thinks he can do. Um, Turns out she came out late yesterday, earlier this morning, admitting, well, actually, the base is thrilled with President Trump. Border security has never been better. The economy's going in the right direction. Inflation is coming down. It isn't. Um, Gas is coming down. It's not. Egg prices are finally back down. They aren't. Don't believe that. Food prices are coming down. That's not true either. Airline tickets are coming down and jobs are up. Neither of those are true. However, it's Congress the base is furious with, and Congress doesn't seem to get the message from the November 2024 election, and that's what I'm sounding the alarm about. So she's trying to readjust so that she doesn't piss off the Fuhrer, because we can't piss off the Fuhrer, right? Um, the American people, she said, um, are footing the bill to protect and secure the maritime waterways for commerce and commercial flowways to be conducted. Our U.S. armed forces protect the area from military threats and from foreign countries. Um, Talking about the Gulf, it's our Gulf. The rightful name of the Gulf of America. It's the Gulf of fucking Mexico. And I'm never going to call it the Gulf of America. That's bullshit. Um, so basically, Marjorie Taylor Greene is living in fucking her cognitive dissonance world where I don't even know what the fuck is going through her head anymore. Not that I ever wanted to understand it before, because as many of you know, I wrote an article about 3 months ago about how she's a lying, adultering, cheating, um, uh, evil bitch of a woman that involved. Well, anyway, um, Craig, if you want to go into the archive and dig up the adulterer Marjorie Taylor Greene piece for everybody, you can. I'm pretty sure I removed the paywall from that one, but that's the one that has the half naked photo of Marjorie Taylor Greene in it. And people told me that uh, I, they had to use eye bleach to get over looking at the image. Yeah, Lynn, before you came in, we talked about that. Uh, she wants to run against John Ossoff, and the polling for that is not good. She'll run against John Ossoff and lose miserably, by the way. Um, so uh, here in Georgia, and this is really the last thing that I have before we're going to open up the forum for people to talk and discuss. Most registered Georgia voters disapprove of Elon Musk's role in Doge. The AJC published a survey where 56.1% of the respondents say they strongly disapprove of Elon Musk playing a prominent role in the Trump administration. Just more than 40% said they either somewhat approve versus the 15% that they strongly approve of Musk playing a prominent role in the Trump administration. So most of the people, yeah, there you go, Craig. Yeah. If you look at that, it's not my fault, but it will teach you all you need to know about Marjorie Taylor Greene and what a bitch she is. Because she is. I mean, really, I mean, we're talking like, uh, she's so ranked. I don't think Massengill could fix that situation. Sorry, I can't help it. I hate that woman. I hate that woman hugely. Um, so last week, Musk referred to his first 100 days in the White House as intense after President Trump announced the billionaire would be stepping back from his government work and spending more time at Tesla because he, uh, holy shit, uh, I, I hate to do this. Um, I hate to do this, but maybe she will. Maybe she will reply. Uh,
I don't know why I'm not getting the notice anymore that you're live.
I don't know either. You can't send me a message like that and then not expect to share that with the class.
Well, shit, for all I know, she might be in here.
Look, okay, if she's in here
Mm,
and she says something, bye bye, bye bye.
yeah. No, there's this other shit, I can't find my glasses. Hold on. There's this other Substack I read called Elise Unleashed. And she's a feminist. I think she's straight. Not not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Someone has to be, and it's not going to be me. So anyway, she had written something. It was a news roundup from last week, and this person came on. She'd written. Elise had written something supportive about trans issues, and this woman came on and started going on and on about how trans women aren't women and all this kind of thing. And so I just said, no, she says, you need to listen to lesbians and feminists on this issue. And I was like, you know what? This lesbian feminist disagrees with you. So she comes back with some, would you care to tell me what you disagree about? And I said, nope, for the same reason I'm not going to engage, people who think they should be able to tell me I can't have an abortion. I don't
Wait,
have
is this
time
the
to.
article? Not everything is about your dick, bro.
Oh no, that's a different one. It's a news roundup um, from the week of April 28th. I think it's before the not everything's about your dick, but the not everything about your is about your dick thing is pretty cool too. I really like this woman. She gets pissed off. She's great. I love
Well,
her.
I follow her, but I'm not going to subscribe. I
Anyway, so yeah. So she comes back with this, that's weak and that's why we don't debate about these things. She starts bringing up shit. And so I look at her page and yeah, she's like posting shit from Andrea Dworkin and all this kind of thing. It's like, yeah, she's just mad at everybody.
I if you hold on, Lynn, I'm about to drop the her Substack into the chat. Um,
Who,
I was just
Elisa's?
looking through this,
Mm.
Elaine. There's some spicy shit in here.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I love her. She's great. So,
Um, uh,
Elise Unleashed is the Substack that I'm
yeah,
talking about. It's her
there you
name.
go. Musings from Elise is the name of the
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, the person who I disagreed with, her handle was just CJ.
Well,
Said she was a
I look.
Michigander,
I'm gonna be
which is
honest with you.
disappointed. Mm,
I'm gonna be honest with you. If there's any TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminists that are currently on this live, I have one sentence for you. Okay, get the fuck
get
out.
the fuck out. I second that. And
Yeah,
I'm
if
not
you're a
even
trans
trans.
exclusionary radical feminist, you're in the wrong place. Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out. Oh my gosh. Well,
Um,
anyway, so yeah. So I'm home nursing a big mad at Google Fiber because they've kept me hanging all day and haven't come and fixed my issue. And so now I'm having to wait until tomorrow morning, and they're supposed to bring somebody around 8 o'clock, and he's gonna wish he'd never met me. Let me tell you.
what is your issue?
Well, when I got up this morning, and it's one of my work from home days, and I got up this morning, and the router and the fiber jack in the wall were both flashing a red light. So I tried turning it off and restarting everything and all that kind of shit, and nothing worked. So I called Google Fiber, and you have to go through their stupid, virtual assistant shit and on the phone and all that. And I finally got through to somebody, and they sent somebody out at 11 o'clock, and they came upstairs and looked at everything and said, well, we're going to have somebody come and do the outside because the problem isn't inside, even though everything in here is really old. So you'll probably need to get that replaced anyway. And I'm like, okay. But we have to come back to do that because there's somebody else that has to come and do the outside part first.
I
And so the outside guy shows up because they told me that a wasp nest, they found a wasp nest in the outside box. Apparently, they can open it up. They just can't work on the line that goes out to the street. So
yeah.
anyway,
So
and the wasp ate some of the cables and so forth. So yeah,
yeah, there's that whole like line of demarcation.
yes,
Like if they don't own the line where the
yeah,
demarcation line stops, they can work
yeah,
on everything from here up to that point and then out. Although I have to tell you, like if it's a fiber cut
hmm,
that is in the line past the demarcation point,
hmm,
that's a situation that affects everybody. Now, here we go, network security, info security lesson here. Google
hmm,
Fiber is a giant ring. And so in the giant ring, there is a controller at the top of the ring, and then there are satellite controllers that go around the ring. So
hmm,
here's what happens. And the ring is doubly redundant. So there's two fiber lines that go in a giant circle. And so here's what happens.
hmm,
If there's a fiber cut, then at the top of the ring, all of that traffic goes not this way to get to this point, goes back the other way to get to the other
hmm,
point. And so invariably, if you're dealing with a fiber cut that has happened on the ring itself, there are other people that are affected. So if you can confirm that the people that are in your locale are affected in the same way, if they're Google subscribers, then it's a larger systemic problem. However, what it sounds like is you have something between the demarcation point and the house that has become
hmm.
problematic. And
Well, yeah, and that's what pissed me off because the outside guy was here for an hour and then he just left. He didn't talk to me. He didn't say anything. He just left. And I never heard back. And when I called to see what the hell was going on, they're like, oh, well, it shows this issue was resolved. And I was like, no, it is not. I still don't have any connection. So, yeah, I'm not happy with them right now. I mean, I've had Google Fiber for 15 years, never had to have anybody come out here. So
well,
I suppose I should be nice to them on
because
that basis.
I mean,
But
here, look, I'm gonna be honest with
mm,
you. Fiber outside of the fiber line getting cut is
hmm,
notoriously stable. Um,
hmm.
it just works, and I don't get why people anyway. So I'm sorry that you have to experience that way. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The really bad thing is I don't have any streaming right now on my fucking TV.
You know, you can tether your TV
So,
to your phone, right?
well, yeah, I suppose I could, but
I
um,
mean, in
um,
a pinch, I've had to do that.
yes, that's okay. I don't need the TV that much, but yeah, I'm just I'm in a foul mood. So, and then I ran into this turf bitch, and that just made me even angrier. So So yeah, I didn't realize you were live when I sent you a message. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm not getting your it's not telling me anymore when
Well,
you
then
go live.
here's what I'm gonna do for you, Elaine,
I
because
always
I
love it
know.
when women say they're gonna do things for me.
Hey,
Yes.
I'm gonna do something.
What?
Every time I start a live, I'll add you as one of the co-hosts of the show,
Mm,
and then you'll get a notification for when the live happens. Um,
mhm.
no, then really, hey.
I'm not seeing this here. Not those kind of things. That's what I said when I said that this morning. Scream at you. No, I'm not gonna scream at you, Craig. You oh my god. Ugh.
oh, oh, you know how gay, you know what gay cows say, right?
No.
You don't know what gay cows say?
No, it's been a while.
Hey.
That was that was dismal.
Oh, I have much worse.
I'm sure. And I have no doubt.
I was a queer person long before I was a trans person.
Yeah.
Um, you know how you make more room in a gay bar?
No.
Turn all the stools upside down.
That's very bad.
Oh,
Very, very bad.
everyone's gonna be mad at me for telling that one.
Oh no. Oh please. I've heard just about all the oh no. Uh, Craig, I would never dare to get you all head up. Uh,
I mean, Linda, I could go the other way if you want. Um, and I'll make Elaine laugh if I tell this one.
what's that?
You know what you call a lesbian with big hands?
With what?
With big hands, well
No.
hung.
Okay, then.
I look. I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible person.
I don't think so.
Tough crowd. I'm here all week. Be sure you tip your waitress.
Yeah.
Oh well, I I open it up at the end because I'm done reading about the fucking news, and so I mean the best thing that I feel like I can do for you guys is try to cheer you all up, one way or another.
The only
My
thing that would
partner
cheer
thinks
me
I
up
should
right
not
now is an
joke this
impeachment
way, but
hearing.
I do it anyway. Um, or whatever. So, are you doing okay otherwise, though? I know it's like been 24 hours since we talked. Your internet's out, and that's all the difficulty you're having today.
So far.
Okay.
Fortunately, I didn't have anything like real emergent on my desk. I had some editing to do, and fortunately, I remembered to put that stuff on my hard drive yesterday before I left the office, so I was able to actually do the work. I just can't send it anywhere with no internet. So, mm, now what?
Craig, Craig.
Oh no, we're back on hooker ass. Oh my god. Oh yes, a death notice would definitely cheer me up. Yes, the right
Oh,
obituary.
I have a great story.
Okay, let's hear it.
If you guys want to hear a story, it's funny. Trust me. So, I have a very, very good friend, and I love this woman to death. And
Okay.
she's a member of the community. And if you've read my biography work, her name is Shay.
Mhm.
And Shay and she's brilliant. I've talked about her before, but so one day, very early in my transition, um, by the way, of my like group of friends, there's like My friend Cammy, who is also mentioned in my autobiography, Cammy and I are like the ones that are like, we know about all of the weird, fucked up shit that exists in the world or whatever. And then like up here is like Shay and another one of our friends. And so one day
Mhm.
we're all in the car. And so um, I made some random comment about um, like somebody said something in the car, and I said, "Oh, that's like a rusty trombone." And
Okay.
and Shay looked at me and said, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, go out to Urban Dictionary and let Urban Dictionary tell you what a rusty trombone is." And so, well, here was the thing, like, we got to a stoplight, and she was still back there on her phone scrolling, and I was like, "Uh, sweetie, that definition is like 2 sentences. You shouldn't continue scrolling to find that." And she was like, "Oh, I read the definition, and the definition had another word in it, and I didn't know what that word meant, and I had to look that up on Urban Dictionary." And I was like, which one was it?" And she says, "I didn't know what a rim job was." And I said, "What?" I looked at her. I said, "Shay, you're like 40 years old. You don't know what that is?" And she said, "No." And I went, and then I looked at Cammy, and Cammy was like, "I have no. I look, no, no." I was like, "Cammy, you have to educate her now. You're partners. You have to educate her now. What the fuck?" And Cammy was like, "No, no, no, no. We're not going there." No. Okay, but right, Lynn, we were in the car and I had no words. I had no words for that whatsoever. I was just like, wow, what
Mhm.
weird timeline, Barry Allen timeline have I fallen into that this has happened.
Mhm.
So yeah, I I have a lot of fun stories, and I have a good time sharing those with people. Which, by the way, I will tell you, Elaine, as I told everybody else, we debuted our new Craig. Will you get the chapter one post that happened late in the day on Thistle today? My partner Kira has published her first chapter of her fictional book that she's
Mhm. Oh,
that
I
she's
saw the post. I just haven't read it yet.
yeah, yeah. Please read it. I think it's a very good read.
Mhm.
But it's on the front page. Sisters Reunion and Road Trip Revelations. Which, by
Mhm.
the way, is a speculative horror fiction. But
Okay.
here is the thing. Once I get the autobiography done, um, I am intent on starting my all of my queer short stories because I have a whole shit ton of those already written,
Mhm.
which are very similar to the bar scene.
Mhm.
That is the first chapter of the autobiography because I actually had that experience, and then after that, I just started viscerally writing about things that happened in the bar, whether they happened or not. And so there's a whole text behind that. And so I have a bunch of queer fiction that will come out after the autobiography gets published. Uh, so here, you know what, Craig, I can do it real quick for everybody. So uh, here is the reunion post. So if you're in the chat, go read that post. That's Kira's first chapter of her book, and like not as not as flowery or um, you know positive as my writing is, um, Her writing is very enjoyable, and very is very much a good read, and so I think everybody should read it. So, um, you're still there, Elaine? Did we? Yeah, right. Exactly, Craig. Yeah, Aubrey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I heard you.
Okay. Yeah, Aubrey. Look, I did that at her request. I'm going to be honest. So, just so we're clear, I think she's over there playing.
No, I'm doing book stuff.
Oh, she's doing book stuff still. So, I, I, sweetheart, how many chapters are you up to now?
6.
Oh, 6 chapters. So,
Okay.
so she's very excited about it. I'm very happy that she's writing because I think writing is a good thing. So, all right, well, that's cool. So, does anybody else have any questions before we wind down tonight? Because I gotta drink the rest of my fucking smoothie. And if Elaine wants to play with her hairy pussy, I'm not gonna get in between that.
Well, she jumped right up on me, so it's not like I have much of a choice. Oh, let me show you the yard sign I just got.
Oh, okay, cool. Yard signs. You're gonna have to back it up. It looks like Trump's hair, though. There you
It
go.
does. It says no.
No, perfect. Oh, I want it now.
Well, if you do, don't buy it from the same seller on Amazon I did. It took 2 fucking weeks to get here. They sent it with the post office, um, which was not a good idea. But it sat in Chicago for like a week. It's like, okay, whatever.
The post office, that thing they're that thing that they're about to try to privatize to make
Yeah, no.
better.
Well, that's the bad thing is, I mean, in some ways, yeah, it is better to privatize because you have a profit motive, so people, you know. But in other ways, if I didn't trying to make a point here, you little ball. Come here, and you're not supposed to be on the counter anyway. Um. Anyway, no, I mean, if I had to depend on the post office for anything, I wouldn't want to now, because it's so erratic. So, and that sucks. So, all right, come on. All right,
You know what? Cat butt.
what do what? Oh yeah.
No, somebody said cat butt, so I had to
Okay.
eject. Does anybody else have any questions before we close tonight? Totally open. Julie Elder, I see that you came in. I was going to invite you, but I didn't want to assume that you did or did not want to talk. I am going to start randomly picking on people again. So, Julie, you're warned. You're like on my list to get into the live, um, so that
It's
you can.
virtually painless.
Yeah, it's Julie. It's completely painless. I promise you. I'm the most
She's a
unthreatening.
lady.
I'm the most unthreatening trans woman ever.
Oh.
Oh no, Julie, no, 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 no. Oh what? Oh hell, Lynn, I did not know. Shit, here we go. We're we're gonna give. No, Julie, definitely not. No, definitely not. No shit, Lynn. I just tried to invite you. Come on.
What do you mean too late? Oh yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I. Lynn, next time though, please next time. Um, Lynn, you and Julie Elder like tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh no, no, no! Come on.
If your feelings are hurt, just push the little orange button. You know,
Oh, come on, Lynn, just say yes,
All
please.
right, now. No, no, no. No, no. Now that's a little more like it. That's what I'm used to hearing from women.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Lynn, I've been trying to get you into the live for like the last 4 days. You have to tell me because I love it when you come into the live.
I
You don't
don't
have
have
the
an
orange
orange
button.
button. Let's send her
Lynn,
another one. It's
no,
probably expired.
you're on your phone though, right? So you should, yeah, you should get a little pop up. I feel okay. There we go.
But now you're
Hello.
saying goodbye, so it's too late.
No,
No, it's
fuck no.
not.
I've been trying to get your ass in here for like 4 days.
Well, I've been babysitting kids, like little kids, so I can't talk during
Like,
those.
how little kids are we talking?
Like 18 months and 4 years. You know,
Huh.
not language language sensitive. Let's put it this
Language. I remember 18 months, and then I blinked twice, and it turned into a mouthy fucking teenager.
way. I know that's why I'm doing it now.
Uh,
By the time they get that old, nah.
mm,
I
mm.
don't have anything to say tonight.
You don't?
You've covered it all.
Oh, really? I mean, I was sure that I was sure that uh, the well, let me ask you this. Okay, the queer history shit. Does it bother you?
No, I thought it was good.
Okay, I don't understand why we lost readers over it. And
Oh,
so,
you did?
yes, if you were
I
not
mean,
here
like
for that,
lost them, like dropped out.
like literally, yeah. So I published the article about the universal public friend who was a non-binary identifying preacher from the late 1700s.
Right.
Mhm.
And within 15 minutes of dropping that post, I had 8 free subscribers unsubscribe with the reason content, and then under it said gay. Um,
Wow.
and then I had,
Well, who did they think they were getting
I was
anyway?
just gonna say,
yeah, and then I had 2 paid subscribers leave for the same reason.
maybe you need
They-
to, maybe you need to put an Alliance Defending Freedom logo.
Okay, I mean, I'm out here in front of
I
people.
mean, maybe they never read your bio. I don't know. Maybe they can't read. I don't know. I just don't understand that either.
I don't make the fact that I'm a trans woman a secret.
No.
Yeah, not exactly.
Nor do I make it a secret that Elaine is a huge lesbian.
Well, yeah.
Hey, I'm straight, so hey, maybe you'll
Oh,
get
it's
a
all
straight.
right. Like I
Maybe
said,
you'll get
somebody
some
has
readers
to
that
be,
way.
and it
Look,
sure as hell isn't good to be me. So,
look, I, here's the thing. Orientation and gender spectrum.
Yeah,
It's a spectrum. We all live somewhere on the spectrum. Why the fuck does there have to be this division? But yeah, I literally lost 10 people over publishing an article about a non-binary preacher from the 1700s.
wow. Maybe was it the religious part? You think that was it?
I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe in the realization that the person in this case, the public universal friend, was actually they weren't a Methodist. I think they were.
Episcopalian?
No, 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 no. The universal public friend was a was their um their I'm I'm going to go back to the article and look now because I can't remember the delineation the denomination that they were a member
It
of.
almost sounded like Unitarian.
Yeah.
I could be
Um,
wrong
Hey,
on that.
yeah.
no, they were. I'm sorry, they were a Quaker.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Quaker.
Friend, I should have known. Oh well.
Which,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Quakers were not irreligious people. They were
No.
uh, Quakers were almost Mennonites, honestly, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And so, I, yeah, I, I've run into this before. People who have a difficult time with understanding that the gender spectrum has existed and that the gender binary that rigidly conservative people, it's just male and female, that's it. There's none of this other bullshit in between.
Right.
Um, that spectrum has existed for thousands of years. Um,
Mhm.
the Hazaras of India have been around since 300 AD. And I mean,
Well,
there's archaeological evidence that supports that Hazaras were around, at that time. So, um, but when people are faced with that idea and they're not comfortable with it,
Mhm.
because now, you know, trans persons and queer persons and gay persons and fluid persons or whatever are in everybody's faces, um, you know, it's that means that it's now. It can't have existed, back in the 40s when I was a kid or whatever.
that's just a woke thing.
Yeah, right. It's a woke thing, which which is why the whole university thing really fucking pisses me off because, you know, it- Trump is trying to, illegalize, you know, universities teaching woke mentality. The last time I checked, when you went to college to smoke weed, drink, party,
Well, that's pretty woke.
expand,
I was gonna say. It's like,
expand the. I mean, look, I'm not judging anybody, but
mm,
expand the horizons a little bit. I mean, I'm I'm not gonna kid with you. I know people that went to Liberty University who literally partied more than I did.
mm,
Wow.
well,
Well, Jerry Falwell partied pretty good, I guess.
oh
Anyway,
Well,
man.
anyway. Okay, well, I'm gonna sign off.
oh, okay, yeah, Lynn. I always want to. I will tell you, Lynn. I always wanted to get you in at least once a week.
Once a what?
Once a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once a week. Once a
Okay.
week. That's all I'm gonna bug you.
All right, so I'm good for this week, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're good for this week. I won't bug you again until next week. Unless you're
Unless
babysitting, then I'm just gonna continually bug
unless
you.
there's something that I have that's worth contributing. I'll
Oh
just
no, there's always something worth contributing. Trust me.
oh, okay. Bye, Elaine.
Bye bye. Nice to have met
Bye.
you.
Bye, Lynn.
I
Okay.
still can't figure out how to get. I can see how many people are in this chat, but I can't see a list of names.
Oh, I'm the
Unless,
only one that can see the list of names because I'm the live presenter. Um,
well, I think I can.
however, I
Mhm,
will tell you that on
mhm,
the roadmap in the future is for co-hosts. So if
mhm,
I invite you into the live session when the session starts,
mhm.
then you'll be able to moderate the chat and you'll be able to see who's in the live.
Mm. Well, I don't want to take Craig's job away from him. I mean, you know,
Oh no, I trust me, you're not going to do that.
no.
No.
Well, like I said, I'm not. I have not been getting notices.
Okay.
Helen's
Well,
here. Hi, Helen.
hi Helen. I and Rouse are both. So I will just tell you that categorically, I can only invite two co-hosts. I'm going to just add you as a permanent co-host to the live so that you get a notification that I'm going, whether you join in the activity or not, just so that you become aware or whatever. And then we'll figure out why notifications are being shitty. So
I don't know. What I'm trying to do is keep it from sending me an email and a notification in the Substack app. I mean, I want to be notified. I just don't want to be notified twice.
Right.
So, and
Yeah, exactly.
technology.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like it either. Um, and I look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I get like shit, 400 or 500 notifications a day.
Oh, I know. I know. Well,
Uh,
yeah, I mean, this is just Substack.
no, I'm literally my Substack notifications are between 400 and 500 a day.
Hmm.
Jeff Tiedrick told me he gets in the thousands.
Oh, I'm sure he
He
does.
like Tiedrick gets so many. He literally had to turn all of that shit off,
Hmm.
except for when like a member becomes a
Hmm.
founding member. That's like his one notification. All the others he doesn't even pay attention.
Hmm.
So, uh, yeah, I always blame Trump.
Absolutely. Bastard.
Yeah, I just blame him. So, Elaine,
Yeah.
I will let you go back to your reading pleasure. Thank you again
Thank you.
for
Good to see
participating.
everybody.
Yep.
All right. Good night.
Oh, and we're gonna wind down for the evening, I think. So, this is where I tell everybody, if you're a paid subscriber to the publication, thank you for being a paid subscriber. If you're a free subscriber, consider becoming a paid subscriber. You're contributing to my livelihood, which contributes to me sitting down in front of my iPad every night at 7 o'clock to talk to you guys about all the bullshit that's going on, and then we can all go through therapy um, together as we try to deal with it. So, with that, I will tell every one of you, please be safe out there. Please take care of yourselves. I can't make it without you guys. We can't make it without each other. That's the only way we get through all this bullshit. Um, and I'll have the live session posted up on thisonmoss.com the minute it becomes available, so that anybody that missed tonight's activity can listen to it at their leisure. And just be safe and be good. And I love you all, and good night.